Not Broke fam, thank you for tuning back into the channel. Please hit that like button, that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Each and every subscription helps. Hit that button. It's Thursday. We're back. Cheap Not Broke Live. Thank you all for tuning back into the channel. We're getting into it tonight. What are we talking about tonight? We are talking back to school costs, everybody. Back to school costs. That is not what I'm trying to pull up right now. Back to school on a budget. There we go. Back to school on a budget. Yep, it's about that time. And I wanted to know, kind of talk about, how much does it cost to go back to school nowadays? Because I know the children have all these electronics. They have tablets. They have laptops. They have all these other things. You have to pay for all these software and services. So I was just curious, how much does it cost to go back to school? Because you need new clothes. You need all these other things. New clothes, new shoes. And I know, oh man, with the spread of social, well, not spread, but with now social media, oh, you see what everybody got. I got to have that. Mom, I need $200 for these shoes. I got to have them. Everybody else is going to have them. I can't be without them. Everybody's been there. You're like, hey, I need these. I do not want to be left out. I don't want to be falling behind looking crazy. I need these, especially back to school. Back to school, you want to get fresh, nice clothes, all that stuff. But you still also got to have book bag, paper, pens, all that stuff. I don't know if you need a laptop now, because you didn't have to have a laptop when I was in school. But maybe now you might need one. You might need a laptop right now in school. So, but we're going to talk about it. Well, this is, of course, grade school, elementary school, middle school, high school. I don't know. College, you're damn sure going to need a laptop for sure. I can tell you that. I had a laptop in college. Well, yep, I had a laptop all through college. So, yeah, you're going to need that. But, yeah, let's get into it. So back to school is back. People are going back to school, and I was just curious. Inflation from like the year 2000 to 2025. How much does it cost to go back to school? How much are these people paying to go back to school? You know, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, data compiled on officialdata.org, it costs $100 educational supplies in 2000, which would cost about $830. Whoa. Hold on. That can't be true. What cost $100 educational supplies in 2000 will cost about $830 by 2000. That's the same year. That doesn't make any sense. By 2025, it will cost approximately $2,007. Reflects a whopping 2,000% increase in that current. I don't believe those statistics at all. Definitely not. No, that doesn't make sense. I don't believe those statistics. However, I would say, just off the top of my head, probably like a good 20-30%. I can assume it costs to go back to school, because you're going to need some type of electronic. I just know it. I know you need some type of electronic. Even the phone. Even kids got the phones. They're communicating on the phones. I know they lock the phones up in some schools, but the phones, the tablets, laptop. I don't know. Are kids still in textbooks nowadays or not? I don't have kids, so I don't know. But some got to cost more money. Something has to cost more. Per student, K through 12, according to Deloitte, parents expected to spend about $570 per student per household. The National Retail Federation reports average household spending about $874 on K through 12 supplies in 2025. Slight drop from 2023, $890. $800. I can see that. I can see that. You got electronics, clothes, shoes, basic supplies. $144 for basic supplies. Nah. We're going to go down. We're going to get that stuff from Staples. We're going to get it off Amazon. You get that stuff shipped in right off Amazon. You're not paying $144 and basic supplies. No, that is insane. That didn't even make any sense. $144 in basic. Nah. Clothes, $250. Ooh, I don't think so. I would say these kids nowadays about a good. Mm, Kids nowadays, you got to spend at least $400. $400 on clothes. The shoes, the shoes are gonna run you. Shoes are gonna run you. Hell, $90 a piece. 180, 180. Right? You're not getting those shoes that you're gonna kill them. Like, oh man, I'm about to kill them with these. Now for $50. No, you gotta spend a little more money than that. Now I used to get the 2 for $89 shoes when I was in school. Foot Locker, Champ Sports had 2 for $89. I wasn't buying Jordans though. Jordans they cost just as much as they did now. Back then, I wasn't getting those. I had some and ones, got some Reeboks, got some Nikes here and there, but I wasn't paying more than $60, $70 for my shoes. I've always been like that. I'm not paying $100 for a pair of shoes. I'm not doing it. So I'll get the shoes, clothes. I probably spent about $200 on clothes, so I'm at about $300. And yeah, I spent about $300 on clothes because I buy clothes all summer for school. My senior year in high school, I didn't buy any clothes. I said, nope. It was my last year. I said, man, who am I trying to impress? Man, I'm trying to get up out of here. I am not buying clothes. And I didn't. And I just didn't, and it worked out pretty fine. Let's say okay, here we go. Here's some better statistics. $300 to $400 school supplies in 2000, up to about $570, $744, depending on the source. And let's see. Well, what are the supplies? Here we go. Back to school supplies. You got the backpack, pens. Pens shouldn't be that much. Pens, what, $5, if anything like that. Notebook, composition books. Composition books, you can get those from Dollar Tree for $1. They got them at Dollar Tree. You can get those for the low, or you can go to Dollar General. They got those. They got that stuff. Loose leaf paper, change, $2, $3, $4 max. Folders, binders, they're like 89 cents, $1 at Walmart, less than that. Erasers, sharpeners, that's $1, $2, maybe $3. A ruler's probably $2. Glue sticks, scissors, $5. Crayons, colored pencils, index card. You can get all this for about $50. You can get all that stuff. All those supplies for $50. Laptop, Chrome, notebook. Okay, now this is where we start spending that money. Laptop, Chrome, or tablet. Many schools require these now. I bet they do. If you're looking at an Apple, your cheapest Apple is probably like $900. Your cheapest Apple is about $900. And that's basic. That's the the smallest memory you can have. It's probably not a fast processor or an M2 or anything like that. It's probably the basic bottom line, which is nothing wrong with that. But that's still $900. Now you can probably get you a compact computer, ThinkPad. And who else makes them? Acer. You can get one of those, probably like $400 or $500, something like that. But yeah, your Apple's gonna run you. Now, I would hope the school's not making it mandatory for you to get that type of computer. That would be insane. Headphones, earbuds, yes, because you're on the bus, walking to school. Headphones, earbuds, that don't cost you that much money. Calculator, scientific or graphing calculator, middle school, high school, yes. I used to have the graphing calculator, the T1, man, and my friend, he figured out how to put games on there, so I used to be on there playing Speedboat on the calculator. Instead of paying attention, I'm playing the game instead of paying attention to class. But anyway, USB external drive, get that about $25, $30. You don't need no whole terabyte. Chargers and protective cases, same thing, $35, $40, $50. But the laptop's gonna run you. If everybody needs a laptop, yeah, you're gonna have to get the nice laptop. Yep, and get a case for it because these are middle school kids. Oh man, they'll drop it, bust it. Oh man, then you gotta buy another one because kid needs a laptop to go to school. They can't do nothing about that. Nothing to do about that. All right, where are we at? Okay. Let's see, you got school uniforms. Now, school uniforms are probably not cheap. I'm sure they cost a little grip if a kid's going to private school or someplace where you got to have a school uniform. The school's in the business of making money, so I'm sure they're going to sell it for enough to make a profit. I don't know how much school uniform will cost. Let's see, what is the average cost of these school uniform? What is average? What is the average cost of School uniform. I'm gonna say about probably $50 a uniform. Yeah, how you say uniform? Yeah, I don't know. Well, you gotta have five. It's 5 days, so you probably need five or whatever. Let's see. Expert opinion parents spend about $100, $350 per child on basic uniform set, which often includes shirts, bottoms, sweaters, shoes, essentials. Around 45% families surveyed within the 150 to 300 range. Elementary school children tend to spend about 150 to 250. Middle school is 200 300. Okay, that's not that bad. All right, that's not that bad. That's not bad. For example, shirts are 15 to 30, pants 20 to 40, blazers 30 to 60. Okay, that's not that bad. I thought they were gonna. I thought you were gonna be spending into thousands for uniforms. I really thought the school was trying to we're gonna try to make as much money as we can. So no, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, because you have to make it affordable because all the children need them. So you have to make it affordable. And I'm sure if you're at a private school, well, they're expecting you to pay for it because hell, if you can't pay for the uniforms, you can't pay to be here. So I'm sure if private school, they make you pay for that damn uniform. Let's see. What else you got? Lunch. You got to pay for lunch. Man, how much I used to pay for lunch? Oh, man. Lunch used to be about... how much was my lunch in school? Oh, man, my mom can answer that. I don't remember how much lunch she used to pay for it. How much was I paying for lunch in school? Lunch, I used to get, let's see, 10 days, $30, 5 by 10. How much was my lunch? I think my lunch was about $4 or $5. Maybe between 3 and 5. I don't remember exactly how much my lunch was. But school lunch with me was probably like 3 to 5. Yep, about 3 to 5. So let's say on that side, I'm pretty sure school lunch now is about $7 a day. I'm going to say about $7 a day on the low end. If you got kids, let me know. Drop a comment. How much is school lunch? How much are you paying for these kids' lunch every day? Like $7. 7 times 5, 35 times 2. That's $70 a week. No, that's every 2 weeks. $7 every 2 weeks. It's not that bad. That's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. But some people bring their lunch. I didn't bring my lunch. I used to love school lunch. School lunch used to be good. Oh man, I used to eat that stuff every day. Get my strawberry milk, chicken sandwich, fries, and a cookie. Yep, I'm good to go. I'm set. I'm set. Recreational activities. Man, now in college. So in college, that is a significant part of your tuition. When you get there, especially as a freshman, you have to pay the what's the fee? It's I forget the name of the fee. It's like an athletic fee or something like that. But you have to pay, for a bunch of stuff that you may or may not do. But yeah, registration is and they assume you're a freshman, you're gonna do all these activities. You pay for them, whether you go or not. You got to pay for them. So registration activity fees, yes, in college, that's something you definitely have to pay for your freshman year. For sure. I'm pretty sure it's I think it was like $800 for me. Something like that. But yeah, we damn sure had to pay for it. Classroom, supply fees. Yeah, I always wonder about that. I always hear on the news or other teachers saying they have to spend their own money and contribute. If we have any teachers online, please drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Do you have to pay for your own supplies? And if so, why can't the parents pay for it? Why can't you take up a nice collection from the parents? Should be take a collection. Some parents got a little money. Like, hey, we would like to, we have a Cash App or PayPal. If you would like to help donate to the Beautiful Classroom Fund. Something nice. You got to be real nice. The Beautiful Classroom Fund. If you would like to donate, we appreciate all donations. It will really help make your child's school year a success. Here's $50, $100, $50, $25, $35, $10, $15, $20. Next thing you know, you got $1,000. I'm pretty sure the parents will donate money. I'm pretty sure. Sports fees. Yep, sports fees. You got to pay for that in college. I don't know about in uniform in grade school. Music program cross. Yep, I was in the band. I had to buy an instrument. Sure do. Field trip fees. Yes, grade school. And school ID replacement fees. Hell yeah. I think school ID replacement for me was like $50. Something like that. But yeah, you lose your ID, you gotta pay for it. Hello, son. Hello, mom. Thank you for watching. How much was my lunch? How much was my lunch in school? I'm curious to know. I don't remember. How much was lunch for me? Because I remember used to pay for my lunch. Transportation, bus, public school. Now, you know what? I've heard that a lot of schools, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of schools in a lot of districts They're not offering the bus anymore. They're expecting these kids to get to school, but the budget has been cut. They don't have money for buses. I've never known that. All through my grade school, all through when I was in grade school, the bus, the city, the county provided a bus for the school. I paid $25 for my lunch until I needed more money. Yeah, and I think that was like $5 a week, a day or something like that. Yeah, and I get money like once a month, something like that. I take my check, bam, get the money, put my PIN number in, and just eat lunch until the money went down there. Tell me, hey, you buy the money. How your family send some more money. Mom put more money on my books, and I can keep on eating. That's how that went. That is how that went. But transportation school right place people. Oh yeah, the buses. Yes. Do schools? Let me see. Do schools still provide a bus for public schools? I don't think so. Not everywhere. It's definitely not like mandated. But I've read some places where they're still common but not guaranteed. Elementary and middle school students in many districts still have a free or low cost school bus service, especially if they live in certain districts. Example one, the high school's bus service has been reduced in some areas to save money. Students may be expected to walk, carpool, or use public transit. Dang, that's wild. But you know what? I grew up in Florida, so a lot of people drove, but there is no public transit. There is no public transportation to get to school. That's not happening. Somebody has to drive you to school, or you have to get on a bus. That's it. There is no other way to get to school. So you got bus, carpools. I rode with a friend to school. My car got hit. I rode with a friend, But you still got to get him some money. You can't just ride up on all that gas. You still got to, give your friend a few dollars, a few pesos for the petrol. You got to do that. Let's see. Face mask has okay, all that other stuff. Yeah, back to school. But yeah, your biggest significant cost is going back to school. But here's the thing. When you're in college, you got to get your dorm ready. Now, when you're like, get to be a junior, senior, you got your apartment. So I don't have to do all that. But as a freshman, you got to move in the dorm, buy a whole bunch of stuff for it. Because you're probably only there for a semester. For that school year, then you got to move out. You're going to be somewhere else next year. Versus when you get your apartment, you just renew the lease. You ain't got to go nowhere. But the dorm, you're going to get up out of there. You're probably not going to have the same dorm next year. You got to move all your stuff out and then, bring it all back next year. Yep, that's how it works. At least that's how it worked where I was. You damn sure couldn't leave your stuff in the dorm over summer because they had people coming in for summer school, all kind of other stuff, so you couldn't leave your stuff there. I wouldn't leave my stuff there. I'm all the way at home. Hell no. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, we're not doing that. But let's see. Many districts have cut routes or changed pickup times due to bus driver shortages. A big issue since 2021. Heard a lot about that. In some cities, schools have give students free public transit passes instead of running yellow buses. Yeah, that's in major cities, but most places are rural. Most cities, most high schools are rural. They're not there. Like, you got New York, the big metropolitan. Where I lived, there was no bus. No train, no public bus, nothing. Somebody had to drive you to school or you were not going. That's it. Somebody had to take you to school or you weren't going to drive yourself, ride the bike, catch the bus or catch a ride. But that's it. There was no public transportation for you to get anywhere. That wasn't happening. Not happening. Let's see. How much is private school? I think private school, I don't know how much private school is. Private school, costs different amounts, but I know they're trying to, they were trying to give people like vouchers at one point in time to go to private school. Hey. Okay, national average of private school tuition, $14,000 K through 12 as of year 2025. Elementary schools, $13,000. High schools, $17,000 a year. And let's see, $14,993. How much is that a year, a month? Let's see. 14,993 divided by 12. That's $1,200 a month. That's $1,200 a month for your kid to go to school. And high school is 17,826. 17,826 divided by 12 months out of the year. Well, that's 14,000. That's 1,400. That's 1,485 a month. Now, of course, they probably don't have school during the year. They don't have to pay those months. Still don't matter. Still, look, them people still getting their money. They still getting their money. So the summertime don't matter. They probably still make you pay for the year, and they might just put that into increase the cost and say it costs more per month to go. Who knows? But that's probably what they're doing. That's probably what they're doing, some way, somehow. But yeah, back to school costs. I'm trying to get a teacher to come on the channel to discuss back to school, how much, some of the challenges the teachers face nowadays. Just with the students, with the parents, and just being a teacher in general. But also some of the rewarding things as well. So get both sides, not just all the negative, some of the positive, and understand who is paying to get the classroom decorated, because I hear a lot of teachers speak about being underfunded when they're trying to decorate their classroom, which is, you need a nice environment for the kids to learn. But I don't understand why they can't take up a collection from the parents. Parents got money. It gives you a nice piece of change from the parents. Some parents got a little bit of money. I think they should take up a collection from the parents and let the parents pay, and I think that would be perfect. That would be a great way for them to get the money they need to pay for the children to have a nice classroom. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think that's good or bad? That the parents should be helping out with decorating the classroom. Want to know your thoughts? Please let me know. Let's see. Whoa, wait a damn minute. Oh, man. Okay, let's get back to private school. Private school. Highest tuition states. Connecticut, overall cost $28,000. High school around $39,000. Shit, that's a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money. Massachusetts, D.C., Denver, Vermont, also among the top tier high school tuition, typically $30,000 to $40,000 a year. Man, your family got to have some real money to pay $40,000 a year. You're going to have to go on a scholarship. One of the two. Low-cost states, South Dakota, just $6,000, with elementary and high school both low ranges there. That's nothing. Nebraska Rally, $2,830, notably low. And some other detailed breakdowns. Other states, Alabama around $8,000, California $18,000, Connecticut $31,000 on average. Then you got the application fees, $100 to $500, books, uniforms $1,000 to $2,000, extracurricular activity, sports $5,000 to $5,000. This is for private school, ladies and gentlemen. Not publicly funded. You, out your pocket, paying for your kid to get the best education out there. It's going to cost you. Yeah, you damn right it's going to cost you. You know it wasn't going to be free. You know it wasn't going to be free. You want good education? You got to pay it. You must pay to learn and be smart. You must pay to learn and be smart. Yep. Got to pay to learn to be smart. That's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, private school is quite a bit. Private school got a bit. Anywhere from $40,000 to $6,000 on the lower end. I would expect that around Mississippi, Alabama, North Dakota, South Dakota. Y'all probably on the lower end. But if you're in a metropolitan city, you're going to pay, because that's where people with money live. So they know they can charge more money, and they know they're still going to have people who are coming out to see. Who are still going to purchase whatever they need. So, yep. All right. We are on the roll tonight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts about back to school. If you have kids, let us know. Drop a comment. How much is it costing you to send your child back to school and throughout the year? Also, like I said, you got back to school, elementary school, but then when you get to college, oh man, you got room and board, you got the meal plan, because you got to eat every day, and you may not be in a situation where you have a vehicle. Now you have Uber or whatnot, But your freshman year, you probably want to eat at the cafeteria, man. You eat at the cafeteria. Cafeteria, good food, good. At least in my school cafeteria food was great. I used to eat there all the time. But, you got that. You got room and board. Like I said, you got all the different fees associated with being a freshman because they know you're going to do all these different activities. So they charge you extra money for it. So it's quite a bit. But I do miss going to the cafeteria, going right up there, give me something to eat good, head on out. That was nice. And I used to go to the cafeteria 3 times a day. I went up there for breakfast before class, went there for lunch, and then I went there for dinner. So I was in the cafeteria 3 times a day for sure. 3 times a day, 15 times a week. Yep, and I went on Saturday and Sundays. I wasn't playing. I wasn't missing no meals. None. I wasn't missing no meals. Now, but yeah, I'm not sure because we used to have to buy the textbooks in college. I don't know if they're allowed to buy ebooks and read an ebook or whatnot. But I know you still have to come up out of my pocket with the books because they were making a lot of money. And there's such egregious thing what they would do with the books. They sell you the book brand new, $300. You have the semester, bring it back, buy it back from you for $40. Turn around, sell it on the used market for another $250. It's like crazy. It's crazy. So I started using something called Chegg, Chegg.com. Shout out to Chegg. I used to rent my books from Chegg my last 2 years of school, and I didn't have to worry about paying for them. When I'm done, I send it back. Send it on back. I don't need this no more. Yep. Send it on back. Don't need that no more. But yes, back to school, everybody. We're talking back to school. And, I know what significantly costs is being a senior. You got all your activities coming, prom, senior pictures, all these different things, application fees to go to college, whatever you're going to do. If you're going to military, you got to figure that out. Find your recruiter, find somebody who can help you get that process started. So you have a lot going on, and it all costs money. Not the recruitment thing for the military, but it costs money to travel to these different schools to go see what's out there. Like, well, I like this school. I like that school. You got to drive, fly, however you're going to get there. You got to travel to those different schools and see what they're talking about. So it gets significantly more. And this is all associated with college. But back to school, it gets expensive. I used to work all summer, save my money. I was laying grass, making $60 a day, $360 a week. I was doing that, and then I was able to get my school clothes. And once I was able to do that, you couldn't tell me nothing. Got all my clothes, and it felt nice. I was working 6 days a week, so I was making $360. So I was working Monday through Saturday. But yeah, I saved all my money, bought all my school clothes. It felt great. Felt good. But once you get to college, man, you got so many other things to pay for. You got to furnish your apartment once you get one. All these other things that just come out of pocket. So it's like, you know what? I don't really need no clothes right now. I don't really need no clothes. But it is what it is. We're going to go to break. We're going to be right back. And we're going to talk some more back to school. Stay there. Back to school. Back to school was a good time, You get there first day, be all excited, don't know who's going to be in your class, what you got going on. It was a great time. Great time. But now, expensive time, especially for the parents. And I can imagine every parent out there doesn't have the same means. So, you don't want to feel like your child's left behind or you're going without. So, you want to make sure they're getting it too. So I can imagine that parents go well above and beyond to make sure that their children have what they need to do what they need to do in school. All right, everybody, we're going to keep the show pushing along tonight. We're going to keep pushing along tonight. We're going to get you the news. What the hell's going on? What the hell? What the hell? All right, let's see what we got here on the news. What's going on? Get it all pulled up. Pulled up real quick. That's not it. Come on, baby. I sent this to myself. Oh, man. Did I not send it to the right email? Oh, crap. All right. Well, Hold on. There we go. DC, man, we don't want to talk about that. We talked about that yesterday. Get my news together. All right. Well, I had some good stuff for you. Air Canada, little travel. Air Canada warns it will cancel 500 flights by Friday as looming strikes set to cause travelers chaos. Thursday, Air Canada said it expects for several dozen flights to be canceled by the end of the day, 500 to be exact, by end of Friday, affecting 1,000 passengers. Said the complexity of the carrier's network, which operates 250 aircraft on flights over 65 countries, requires it to start winding down service and restarting operations to build next week. What the hell? What are they talking about? It strike with displaced passengers in the country's tourism sector during the height of summer travel and pose as a federal. Well, you better stop playing with people and get their stuff together. You better stop playing with people. Clearly, you did something to them folks. 500 flights. Pay them their money. They about to strike. Give them their money. Just give them the money. And if you pay people a little bit early, if I give you money before you're looking for money, you won't look for as much as you would before. Well, some people would, but you can get people to hold them off. I know a lot of parents are choosing homeschool instead of private school, charter schools. Yes. But who is teaching the children? Because if you're at work and working, can't do a thorough job, I guess you're going to have an in-house teacher to teach the kids. Because I'm pretty sure that if you're at home, somebody's going to need to teach them. If you're working your regular job, you can't do that. You will not be able to do that. No such thing. Kellogg's to become first company to sign legally binding agreement removing toxic dyes from cereal. After months of investigation and negotiation, Texas Attorney Ken Pratton announced Wednesday that WK Kellogg's will permanently remove toxic dyes from its cereals. A historic legal agreement, Pratton and Kellogg's signed an assurance of voluntary compliance, which certifies the company commits to removal of food colorings from its cereals by 2027. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to taste the same, man. Can't tell them to remove that stuff? See, I don't eat none of this. None of this. Kellogg's. I eat Tony the Tiger. They're great. That's what I eat. Tony the Tiger. He's my guy. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So everybody should be aware of this. Instagram has this map feature where it shows where you're at on the map. Now, they say you do have to opt in to get it. It's not going to just show up on your phone one day and track you. You do have to opt in, but just be aware Uber does have a whole app out there telling people where the hell your ass is at. And, you don't want people to know where the hell you're at. That's your business. So, make sure it's turned off or just do some reading and read into it, look into it, figure it out, what's going on and how you are affected. Okay. Amazon. Let's see. Amazon to expand same-day grocery service to 2,300 cities, shrinking shares of rivals Walmart, Instacart. Amazon is going, in this supermarket business with a massive expansion of same-day delivery, perishable items like milk and fruits, sending shares of rivals, including Walmart and Instacart, plunging. So, wow. And let's see. $2,300. Amazon expand grocery store 2,300 cities. Drinking shares rival Walmart. Man, Amazon's taking over everything. They really are. Every place, like they're buying up a lot of places. They're buying up all this warehouse space, and the people aren't happy about it. You know, they're getting displacing a lot of people. These big ass warehouses, they need a lot of space. And what do they come in? Oh, give us a tax break. We're gonna provide a lot of jobs, which is gonna help keep the city in a cash flow positive spot. You already know how that goes. Do you think other companies will follow suit and remove toxins from their products? Not if they're not only if they have to. Only if they have to, because those toxin products are probably the cheapest thing out there, and that's why they got them up there and got them in there in the first place, because they're cheap. Instagram has a similar map to tracking followers. Yes, Instagram does have a map to track followers. That's what I was talking about. Instagram does have a map where you can track your followers, show you where you're at. You don't want your location out there where the hell you're at. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. You want to keep that to yourself, very private, because you got some crazies out here, and the crazies will come try to get you, and you don't need that. Nobody needs that. So, make sure. Well, like I said, you have to actually opt in. You have to opt in for for this to happen, for them to post your location and all that. So just be wary if you see it, mindful of it, what it is, what you're clicking on. You don't want any problems. You don't want no problems. Nobody wants any problems. So just be mindful. Okay? Bam. And let's see, back to school. We did that. This is our interesting news of the evening. And yeah, babe. Summer is still a good time. If you're going to do some traveling, go out there and get you some traveling in. Make sure you log those points, ladies and gentlemen. People be playing with the points. Get your points. Use the points. Every time you fly, just open up an account with whoever it is and log in your mileage. Because before you know it, you'll get a free trip. Okay? Make sure you're doing that. Looking for hotel deals and all these other things. Google it, search it. They're always out there. They're always looking for people's business. So make sure you're looking for the deal. You're not getting hit over side the head with the high prices. You don't want that. We don't need that. Right? That's not what we need. Well, ladies and gentlemen, back to school. That's what we got for tonight. Tonight's show. We're going to be back on Monday. Better topic. I'm going to research and do some more topics. If you ever have a topic you want me to discuss, please always drop it in the comments. Be happy to discuss what you want to talk about. I'll do the research and provide the information the best of my abilities. But until then, Monday, we'll be back. Please hit the Cheap Not Broke like button. Please head over to cheapnotbroke.com. Grab yourself some merchandise. You're very much appreciated. And I will see you all on Monday night. Take care.